So now if I want to run my task locally, I would hit this button here, and then a little window would pop up and I'd have to hit the green running man again. But I actually want to go ahead and put it on Pavlovia. So to do that, I go to File, Export HTML. So what this is going to do is it's going to convert your Python code, because you've been coding in PyschoPy, which means you have Python code. It's going to convert that Python code into Java code. So let's go ahead and press that, export to HTML, and then have a look where your experiment is. So this wasn't here before, but this created an HTML folder, and it made two files with code. You could open this in a text browser. You could open it with Text Wrangler or another text editor, and you can look at the code in Java. And we'll do that later. But for now, it's fine. You can ignore it. Okay, so now that we've done that, I want to compile it. This will tell you if you have any errors. So when you hit that green running man and you've exported to HTML, if you have any errors in your data file, it'll pop up here in red, and it'll tell you which line in those two data files, which line the error occurs on. So you can keep that in mind for later. But for now, I want to sync it. I want to sync my experiment to Pavlovia. So the first thing I want to do is check where I'm logged in. I am probably already logged in, but you might not be. But it will prompt you if you're not. But you can click this little world with a person here, and yep, I'm logged into my account, so that's good. And then I want to hit the sync button, and this is just going to sync. This is going to sync my experimental file to my Pavlovia. So it's telling me that I don't already have a project on Pavlovia called cat task, and that's right. I haven't already synced it or created it. So I'm going to create the project for the first time. You can give it any name you like, but I'm going to call it cat task. The local folder by default is wherever your experiment is saved. And for now, I'm not going to make it public, but let's create this project on Pavlovia. And a summary of the changes, I'm just going to call this first draft. This is the first draft of my task. So now when I go to Pavlovia, my task should be there. So let's have a look and see if it is. Okay, so now I'm signed into my Pavlovia account, and I want to see if the cat task was synced. So I go to Dashboard and Experiments. And here are all of the experimental tasks that I have uploaded currently, and cat task was uploaded. So, so currently the task is set to inactive, but I want to start piloting it. So I just click Piloting here. Now let's check some of the settings. You can save your data as CSV, or you can save to the database. If you save to the database, you're going to get some log files. I think they're text files. They're a little strange to me. I don't know how to work with them, but I like to save to CSV, and it's really straightforward. Here, the default is to save a data file when the task doesn't complete. You can also turn that off and not save a data file. But I want to save the data files even if the task ends early. It's prematurely. Okay, so now I can pilot my task. This is going to pop up in a browser. I'll be participant 999. Okay, and I set this to loop through the instructions and then the cat pick. I'll press X twice. So again, the instruction screen, press spacebar, press X, and just like I programmed it, looped through twice. Okay. All right, so here's my data file. And it popped up like this because I have it set to piloting. Once you can have a quick look, it's not really that interesting, but at any rate, variables, pretty straightforward. And once you move it from piloting to running, your data is going to appear here. If you go to View Code, I don't have a data file now, but when you set your experiment to running and you run via the URL, you'll have a data folder that all of your participants' data will go into. So just to reiterate, I think it's really important to start off very, very simple if you're kind of starting coding from scratch. Make little changes and then export the files to HTML, sync to Pavlovia, and pilot on Pavlovia. And then when it stops working, when your task stops working, you'll be able to figure out a lot more easily what went wrong. What went wrong when Pavlovia is translating the Python code to Java code. And Pavlovia does a really good job of translating Python to Java when you're using these components, these builder components. But when you start adding in code components, that's where things can go wrong. And the more complicated the experiment, the more things that can go wrong. So in the next video, I'm going to show some of the things that I've found to go wrong. And I'm going to look at a video, or pardon me, I'm going to look at like kind of a more complicated task like this that has some code components, and just look at some of the common things that aren't well translated from Python to Java and how you can fix them. So check in soon for the next video. Thanks. Bye.